Good afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. Um, to talk about Telegraph, the Telegraph is from the house of ABP Private Limited. It is a diversified media conglomerate based out of Calcutta in India. Most of you would, of course, know about the house and the different publications. Anandabasar Patrika, the Bengali newspaper, is the hallmark of the house with more than 60 lakhs readership. The Telegraph with more than 12 lakhs readership is number one in the East India and fourth nationally. And it is circulated in more or less the whole of Eastern India and the Northeast. So here we'd like to talk about the programs that Telegraph takes on towards attracting young readers to its fold. And it's very simple, uncluttered. The agenda is the class, basically whom I'm talking about, the project, what we do, and how did we fare till now. So the class. So we have since morning we have seen mostly the youth who are 15 plus years. So it gives me some sanctity to talk to end with the day at the base of the pyramid, so to say. She's 4 to 14-year-olds, of course, who can read English because we'll be talking about English publications. Now, who are they? Basically, this we're talking about are the students. And these students today are under a lot of stress. Then that's an understatement. On one side, it's the stress for their studies, with these unit tests, continuous evaluation, homeworks, etc. And on the other side, the parents do want them to be an all-rounder, and hence the extracurriculars are added to that. They have to go for the singing, the dance, the guitar, the synthesizer, the chess, and whatnot. So ultimately, they are not the best in the class or the academic class, but of course, an old, well-rounded personality ready to get into the MBA later on and things like that. So it's basically a pressure cooker that they are in. And the parents actually do know that. If we have done a number of sessions and studies with them, and if you see, they have the guilt that they have put their words into this. But they say this is the competitive world, so we have to actually get through to them. And even the teachers, they absolutely understand what the cycle between the child and the parent, and what they're going through in that way. I'll just switch over to give an exact idea.
6 things like porashona, basketball, tennis, abacus, singing, dancing, drawing. I've seen mothers doing this, that they want to see their kids come in flying colors in each and every activity the kid is put into. What mental stress they are going through in keeping to their parents' expectations. My kids go for tennis, they have to learn skipping because they're going to tennis, because they have to keep like the physical activities going on. But even we learn skipping, but skipping was like a part of a daily game. It's a part of a daily routine. We just learned it like that.
All right, so this one of them talking about, possibly herself and her friends out there. So given this scenario, who are the new friends of this youngest of the readers that I'm talking about today? So primarily television, computer, internet. So television is easy to go. Everything, all the time, there's something interesting that's up there. Maybe it's cartoon, sports, music channels. So you can do a good pastime with the television. Similarly, the computer games are becoming great recourse to action in the playground. And I wanted to share an anecdote here. One of my uncles, and he says that previously, and this is quote if I put it that way, previously we used to go to the club to play the game and come back home to watch the game. And today, kids go to the club to actually watch the game and come back home to play the game with the Wii's and the Nintendos of the world. And of course, the internet and the social networking, we have had a lot of discussions since morning on the same. And of course, it is catching on very early. Even it's in very early, the teens and even the non-teens, the twins are into it, though, if we can separate out or leave apart the legal part of the things. Now, if you again talk about the news source, yes, the printed news is, of course, credible, and hence they would go for it. But in most of the cases, they don't need to wait for it. With the advent and more increasing use of mobiles, and the access, the web on the go, be it for the curricular or for the non-curricular requirements. If you give a project today, I have been digging out some of the studies, and about 4 years back, we have had a study where the respondents and the readers of TTIS have said that they use, or more than 50% of the readers had used TTIS for their for their projects in their school. Today, that percentage has come down. The first thing, if I ask, what is the resource that you use for your school project, the first thing is the internet, the Wikipedia. So there has been an absolute change in that context as well. And of course, there's a peer pressure. We take it or not, and depending on the age, of course, at 20 years of age, there's some maturity of not maybe getting into it. But at a 10 to 12 to 14 years of age, there's a lot of peer pressure on that. If you go to a junior school today, there's this whole phenomenon about the Power Rangers, the Beyblades, and kids are crazy about it. And similarly, if you go to the other end in the school, in the senior schools, the Facebook and what has happened and who has had what kind of post last night has been a crazy thing. So given in this context, what's the project? The project is to attract young readers, and I just wanted to highlight what we have been doing. The Telegraph philosophy is very simple. Catch them young, watch them grow with the Telegraph brand. And in this way, for this end, or towards this end, we use two vehicles. One is the Telekids, which is for engaging the youngest of the youngs, 4 to 10-year-olds, and the Telegraph in School, or the TTIS, which to involve 8 to 14-year-olds, and which to act as the nursery for the Telegraph readers. The Telekids is the kids' supplement of the Telegraph, launched in 1996. It's an 8-page color tabloid, which comes out every Wednesday along with the newspaper. And it targets 4 to 10 year of age kids. And it is distributed to the entire circulation across the East. The basic aim of Telekids is to create a hook in the newspaper for the youngest readers, so that through this, the concept of newspaper can be introduced to the youngest ones, and of course, in that way, to build them to the fold of newspaper reading. So it is, of course, as if you look at the content, it is more of a print activity rather than a newspaper reading per se. Just to give you some flavor, there will be a center spread with a lot of print activity, games in it, so they can spend some time, and hence look forward for the Wednesdays for the Telekids. And of course, what this is also encourage the other crafts and other activities which anyway this age group is interested to do. So you give them more food for their activities. And along with that, you give some fun and easy read. We have this My Fun Days with the celebrities who talk about their childhood and the time spent well during that time, which is a big draw, not only of course for the kids, but everybody, even the adults today. And then we have the Punch, which is the jokes section. So basically, this leads into an easy reading habit of newspaper. And then we slowly graduate them into the Telegraph and schools. So we have continuous communications of the telegraph in schools within the telekits, which would make them aware of the, so to say, the graduating certificate. The telegraph in schools, first, the target audience, we are targeted towards class 4 to 9, which is the 8 to 14-year-olds. And it's a standalone 16-page newspaper, a tabloid. It is not sold along with, or it is not distributed along with the Telegraph. It has its own cover price, and it comes out weekly every Monday. But the unique thing about the Telegraph in Schools, TTIS, is it is not only for the students, but it is by the students. You know, we do have a very thin editorial line team to just work with the school, the readers, the students who actually contributes the A to Z of this product every week, week after week, and years after year. So all the different, and I'll go through the different parts of the content, but everything is generated by the students. And as we have already been told, TDS has won the WAN Awards for the young readers in 2004. And at that point of time, it was the first Indian newspaper and only the second Asian to do so. So coming back, as I was saying, you know, that the students are the keys. The students are the reporters. The students are the writers. And how do we do that? So we have this platform in the TTIs, which we want to put it as my paper and my community. And that's why we have this the concept of TTIS Tigers. The TTIS Tigers would be of two forms. Broadly, TTIs, the Tiger reporters, and the Tiger executives. Now, these are the representatives from the different schools, and even they can join in voluntarily as well, you know, who take part in this democratic process of editorial lineup of this product. You know, we have a weekly editorial and the Tigers meet, where the editorials discuss, you know, what are the cover stories that we plan to do, and some of them are voted down, some more are added, and then the discussions continue as to who would be taking the exact assignments to each of the cover stories. So as in the normal reporting world, the newspaper world, also in this case, for each of the cover stories, assignments are given to a set of reporters who go ahead and do the research, go and talk to the people, get the story done, and you know, give it by the deadline to the editorial. So this platform is just to incubate the journalism on the one hand, on the other hand, just to give the spirit of, you know, it's my paper, my community, and hence my involvement to TTIS. What is the motivation? It's very simple. As I was talking about, it's mine, so it's my project, so I have to do it. So that's the first thing. And of course, along with that, we build a lot of things. You know, we have an absolutely different incentive, soft incentive structures for the Tigers. Even the whole idea about getting a de facto press card through this Tiger Reporter card, which would give them the access to the celebrities and others, is a huge motivation for them. You know, we have the annual Tiger Award ceremony, and where we felicitate the best of the best. And that is a huge motivation throughout the year to get them running. And of course, to top it all, we have the Tigers divided into different houses, like in schools, where it brings in a fair play of competition among themselves to, you know, get more involved and contribute more.